here at Glowforge, which is just a really fancy way of saying that I am behind all of the Glowforge social media accounts. So if you've talked to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I'm the one that you will be talking to. I'm so excited to have you all here. I know I've talked to many of you who are super excited for this stream, so I'm super excited to get started.
Yes, and last but not least, I've got our CEO of Glowforge, Dan Shapiro, here with us today. Hey, Dan.
Hello. Thank you so much all for joining us here today. I am so excited to get to talk to you about how you might be able to use your own Glowforge to start a business, to make some extra money on the side, to take something that you're doing already and scale it up, to turn a hobby into an income, all the things that having this technology can do for you. So a lot of folks don't know this, but Glowforge actually started as a small business itself. Before starting Glowforge, I invented a game with my kids, and it was a really simple idea. It was a board game made out of cardboard pieces that teaches programming to preschoolers. It was called Robot Turtles, and I have a copy right here. I launched it on Kickstarter, and it wound up as the best-selling board game on Kickstarter at the time. And it was in producing Robot Turtles that I discovered the incredible abilities of laser technology to take what was just an idea and some paper cutouts and some scratches that I was playing around with my kids on the table and turn it into a game with real pieces that people could use. So ultimately, I made 75 versions of it with my home laser and then turned it over to a factory where they made thousands more. But it was that technology that inspired me. And I said, laser technology for years has been part of factories, but what if people like you had it in their homes and could produce tens, dozens, hundreds, even thousands of products at the push of a button? What if you didn't need factories and infrastructure and supply chain? What if you could create things and create income and create a job for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones with something you had right at home? So I'm coming to you live from the Shapiro garage. That's a real garden hose. That's not a prop. Here with the family Glowforge. I cannot wait to show you what you can do.
Fantastic. I'm just hearing from chat that we're having a little bit of technical difficulties over on YouTube. So we're hoping to send all our traffic over to Facebook, I think is what we're going to do. Now, Dan, I think to get started, I would love to hear kind of like your background about starting as a small business owner yourself, even before Glowforge. I happen to know a little bit about that, but I know you have some things to show off for us.
Yeah, so just showed Robot Turtles, the game that was actually designed that inspired this. And yeah. I have for years been woodworking and crafting. And I'll tell you, as a parent of twins, it's been really difficult to find time for those hobbies, to find time to come up with ideas and bring them into life. So the magic of having a technology where you can take a doodle, you can take a design that is in whatever software you like, whether it's Photoshop or PowerPoint, it doesn't matter. And then you can hit a button and minutes, not hours, but minutes later, you can see the thing in your own two hands, you can hold on to it, and then you can turn around, put that online, you can sell it, you can see what works, you can try things out on Etsy, on eBay. That empowers people to create businesses who've never even done it before. In fact, right now, my twins, who are now 11, are creating their own businesses on Etsy with custom engraved slate coasters and boxes to hold dice for games. It is amazing what anybody can do with this power in their hands.
Absolutely, and gosh, I just heard you mention a whole bunch of different materials in just that one little spiel, and I'm seeing questions come through on chat about materials, and I know, gosh, we've got a lot in store to show you today. And I think actually it might be a perfect time to kind of transition into our first print, which is a rather unique material. We'll see people print all the time on wood and acrylic and, fabrics, stones that they've picked up from the garden, a cutting board that they bought off of Amazon, a slate coaster like your daughter's business, like you mentioned. One that gets asked about quite a bit is rubber. I'm going to throw this over to you, Nick.
Excellent. Thanks, Bailey. Yeah, rubber is one of those questions that comes up a lot. And it is a really special material because you can use it at home very quickly to make rubber stamps. And they are such an incredible thing if you're running a business from home. And I've got an example to show you here. Let me just grab this. Now, one of my colleagues, Shell, pulled this together yesterday as an example of a way you can very quickly
Oh,
spin up
wow.
a logo. And you can see here we chose a fun name, picked out a logo or an icon that was representative of that name, and turned it into a rubber stamp.
Oh
This
my
is a test that
gosh.
I was doing just earlier on, but I'm going to print this live for you now just so you can see what the process is like and how easy it is to do. And one great thing about something like this is with a very small amount of effort to create something like this, you can then take this stamp and apply it across so many different aspects of your business. So if we look over here at the top of my Glowforge, I've got a couple of different examples of products or packaging where I've used that particular stamp. Here, we've got a white box, a little kind of a crafty vibe with the butcher's twine. And you can see here where I've taken the key motif from that same logo, blown it up in the Glowforge software and printed an acrylic version, and just added that with the tag that was stamped with our stamp to create a really nice piece of packaging. And likewise on here, similar kind of idea, simple ribbon, piece of card, one stamp, and that looks super high-end. If you were running something like maybe a high-end cosmetics company, this kind of packaging would really resonate, I think, with your clients. So let's get started with the print.
Yeah, beautiful.
And Nick, what's amazing for me to see is you just took one design and you transformed that into an entire branding exercise. Like, this is now a business. It's a professional looking one. It's premium. Whatever it is that you're selling, that you're sharing with your customers is going to look so much more incredible because you took your logo and you transformed it in all of these amazing ways.
100%. And let me show you one more quick example of that, actually. So here is a jewelry business that we spun up in an afternoon. We thought of a name, created a logo, and actually the products themselves too. And if I get a little bit closer, you can probably see how we have the logo here and a little graphic element just on the top. And we've actually taken that same idea and applied it to business cards for that company. Just trying to get that into the light right there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
up there in the right corner. Mm-hmm.
Packaging for the company too.
So
And what's
what
neat
are
about
you?
this
What
is-
are we seeing there, Nick? It looks just like a paper shape. What was that? Could you flip it over?
This is cardstock. So
Sorry, the next one.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah. Can you
This is
rotate that?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So that's actually a container.
Yeah. So you can open this up, and this was cut using the Glowforge. All of the folds were scored using the laser as well. So you can just slip your products into here, and you have a beautiful finished piece of packaging that you can ship to your customers. So let's get started with that print. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I can see, and we'll give you an introduction to the Glowforge print experience.
And so one thing you don't have to worry about is if you have the same computer Nick does. I think Nick is doing this from a Mac, but he's going to share his screen. What you're going to see is that the free Glowforge software, Glowforge Print, that's included with your Glowforge purchase, runs on any sort of computer. It can be a Mac, it can be a PC, it can be a tablet, it can be a phone, it can be a Chromebook. These are in use in schools across the country and around the world. So he's taken this design that he created, and you can use any design software. You can use Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape, PowerPoint, anything that can give you a JPEG or a PDF. He's pasted that design here, and now he's dragging it into place. And because your Glowforge has built-in cameras, because it's completely automated, has autofocus, you don't have to worry about alignment. You don't have to worry about all the complexities of setting up a power tool. He's just dragged it into place. You can see it automatically focused. It said focusing there. And, this is almost boring because he's done. There, click print. It's now uploading from via Wi-Fi from your web browser to the Glowforge in your home. And it is ready to go. And you can see there's an estimate, 7 minutes and 49 seconds. So Nick knows exactly how long it's going to take, how many of these he can print. And that's really important because if you're creating a business and you want to turn these out, you want to know how long each print takes. So this is 7 minutes and 49 seconds to engrave this rubber stamp. And Nick, can you show your Glowforge? Can we get a view of your Glowforge so we can see what's going on inside, even as this countdown is going on? Oh, there we go. There's that overhead view. That's fantastic. I can see it moving around. And is it possible for you to show us how your Glowforge is hooked up? Now, I already mentioned your Glowforge is on Wi-Fi, so you can put it anywhere in the house that has internet and a power plug. And then you need to either connect it to a window or connect it to the Glowforge air filter, which is a separate purchase. Nick, I think you're plugged into the window, so if you could take the camera and just show folks what that looks like. It's just a 4-inch hose, the same hose that you use for for a dryer, and you can put that out the window. Or let's see, I see Nick, you're pointing the camera. I don't know if we can see what's on the camera. Nope, it looks like we're not there. All right, well, we'll show you the exhaust later and the air
Picture
filter
a
later.
window with an exhaust hose out of it.
Yep. But while we're doing that and creating this amazing piece out of that simple logo that's going to turn into a stamp, that's going to turn into branding, Bailey, maybe you could show what some folks have done with their own Glowforge units at home.
Absolutely. So one of the main questions that we get is do people really create businesses with Glowforge? Like, I want to do this, but can I? And so can we switch over to my screen share, please? I went all over Instagram, which, by the way, if you're ever bored, just look up #Glowforge and you'll accidentally lose 2 hours of your day looking at what folks have made on their Glowforges on Instagram. And one thing, though, that we see a ton is these business owners, these people who have taken their Glowforge and they've either started a brand new business from scratch or added to an existing business. So this first one I wanted to show you, this is Marissa from the Sunny Nest Decor. So I met Marissa a couple years ago, actually, before she got a Glowforge. I just followed her on Instagram because I loved her aesthetic. You can see she just bought a new house. But she ended up, she was selling different arts and crafts things, but then she got a Glow
up a handicraft is just amazing.
Exactly. Next here, I have Carve by Design Group. I believe her name is Kelly. To speak, with something tangible for these causes that mean a lot for her and just to express herself artistically. Next up, this one's a fun one. This is Nicole and Thur from When Geeks Craft. Let's get their page to load. It looks like it. There we go. So their motto is crafting geeky nonsense, which is fun. And they're a husband-wife duo. So obviously they have sorry about this. It looks like my page is still loading. Here we go. Crafting geeky nonsense from laser beams, filament, and resin. So there are a couple who loves, board games and custom PCs. Does that sound familiar at all to you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm chuckling because I can see our messages are popping up over the top. So, hey, everybody.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my
No,
goodness.
that's okay. The hazards of screen sharing. This is incredible. I have actually seen some of these live, and they are so incredible. I bought one to give as a gift, and it's amazing. It looks like, you look at these pictures, and you say, like, yeah, I could never do something like that. And then when you break it down, it's laser cutting and engraving wood. It's pouring resin into the openings. It's taking what was once a simple two-dimensional picture, a map, and transforming it into something truly amazing. And there's so much labor and so much love that went into this, but it is fundamentally something that this machine makes possible. And I won't say it makes it easy, but it makes it straightforward. You can take your brilliance and you can turn it into something that's a physical product that people can see and touch with a push of a button with this technology.
Yes. And the next up I have, oh, not that one. One moment, please. Well, we've got a video for our next one. So if we could just switch to that, it's Kristen from Ray Create. I thought I had her Instagram up here, but oh, here it is. So Kristen is one of those stories where she bought a Glowforge, maybe not even intending to start a business, but then accidentally did. And it's a really awesome story. So let's watch that now.
My name is Kristen Burton, and this is the story of my Glowforge powered business. In the first few months that I got my Glowforge, it was really just for fun. It was a hobby machine. I was making gifts for my friends and my family. I was making things for my son's rooms. One day somebody asked me, would you be willing to sell that? And finally I said yes, and that's really the day that my business took off. I said yes once, and then I said yes again and again and again, and I just kept saying yes. The thing that I'm most proud of are my language builders blocks. I printed a set of these blocks for my son. There's animals, there's nature, and there's numbers. And on one side they have the picture, so in this case animals, and then on the other 5 sides of the block they've got the name for that animal in 5 different languages: Spanish, French, German, Japanese, and English. And I made a set for my son because I really wanted to instill this love of language and of culture in him, and he loved them so much that I started making sets for my friends who also had young kids. Everybody told me, hey, I think you've really got something here, and so I tried looking for a way to expand. I reached out to a manufacturer, I sent them a few of the prototypes that I'd made on my Glowforge, and we started mass producing these blocks, and my first batch arrived in the US, and they are on shelves in the United States to be sold, and in Australia to begin selling them there. When I first got my Glowforge, if you had asked me, I could not have told you that this is where I'd be today. I had no intention of becoming an international toy designer, but it feels now like it was the natural culmination of the things that I love, and then having this amazing machine that allowed me to bring those ideas to life. People say do what you love and the money will come, and it sounds like a pipe dream, but it's really true. I started doing what I love, and I've managed to make a business out of it that I'm really proud of. I don't work a 9-to-5 job anymore. I get to spend so much more time with my children, with my family, and I get to build and design and be creative every day, and I've found personal and professional fulfillment. I wouldn't have been able to do any of that if I hadn't gotten a Glowforge.
Wow, wasn't that incredible? That's just one of my favorite customer stories. It's so, so good. And actually, I'm lucky enough here to have Kristen's finished product. And I just wanted to show it to everybody. Now, she used her Glowforge to prototype this. And if I just open this up, it's just one set of 3 that she makes. And you can see these beautiful colored blocks have all been engraved really nicely with those 5 different languages that she mentioned. And this particular set is all about animals. So this is animal names in 5 different languages. So beautiful.
The thing I love about this is that it's just her creativity, push a button, and suddenly something exists in the world that didn't exist before. There are so many stories of people who bought their Glowforge for their personal creative passion and then wound up with friends asking them to do jobs for them, with creating things that people ask them to buy, and then it transforms into a business that can support them and their family. As somebody who's spent most of my adult life working to go support myself and my family by creating businesses, this is inspiring to me that you can do this and that you have this tool that can enable that for you.
And speaking of pushing a button and a print coming
So is it my turn to print something? Because I'm really excited to share. One of the things that I love doing is taking something practical and transforming it into something personal. So I got a set of 4 glass cutting boards on eBay. And you can see it's got feet. I think 4 of them were something like $16. This is a really inexpensive product.
Not
this
bad.
isn't something that you would, this isn't something that you, oh, sorry. Somebody correct me. Not a cutting board, a cheese board, because the last thing you want to do is put your knife against a piece of glass. But great for presentation. But I want to transform this into something beautiful that I could actually give as a gift or something meaningful. So I'm going to show you how simple this is to do. First, I am going to open my Glowforge Pro up. I'm going to put this in here and close the lid. And you can see I'm just setting it there. And now I'm going to share my screen and show you what the software looks like.
All right, and you're going to see something really similar to what I was using earlier on today with Dan's computer. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that Dan's design that he's created in his vector software has been mirrored. It's backwards. And this is a really nice technique that you can use on glass surfaces and on acrylics too. And the idea is that you print on the back side of the piece that you're wanting to show. And then when you flip it over, you can see the design from the right side. The surface is completely smooth. And you have this really wonderful three-dimensional effect where you can see the design through the material. It's really, really wonderful. And I think later on, Bailey might have a couple of examples in acrylic that we can show you using the same technique.
Now, I didn't get it in there quite straight, so I'm rotating it just a little bit so it looks right. There we go.
That's it. And you could also use this software to scale the design if you wanted to, or if you'd uploaded an element that you wanted to repeat, maybe a series of patterns, you could copy and paste those, move them around, and scale them to create your design completely within this interface. And Dan's used a little bit of experimentation to find the best settings for this. It doesn't take very long at all, and you can save them into the software. And as you can see there, he's hit the print button. It's uploading to Glowforge. And just like with my print and the rubber stamp, we'll soon see a very quick time estimate as to how long that's going to take. And wow, look at that, 47 seconds.
All right, let's check out the overhead cam.
We should see that button glowing anytime now.
Oh,
Hello,
there
Dan.
you are, Dan.
And away we go. Now you'll see in just a second the head's going to move across that material. And the laser is actually going to start scoring that pattern, almost as if it was using a pen, drawing onto the surface of the glass. And look how quickly that's going.
That's awesome.
Now that laser light that you see there is completely safe to look at. You can look through the machine and watch it print. And I have to be honest, I've been at Glowforge now for almost 5 years. And watching the laser print it's as mesmerizing as a campfire. You just can't look away. It's incredible to think that there is nothing touching this material, but this beautiful mark and this beautiful result is happening right before your eyes. Look at that, 47 seconds, and it's almost finished.
Wow. It's just appearing.
Oh, yeah. And like I said before, you could do this on acrylic, too, if you didn't have glass. And there are so many different glass objects that you could apply the same technique to as well. Serving dishes, platters, coasters, even glass bottles, things like that. My British accent came out there for a second.
Yeah, like I've seen spice jars or different maybe glass flasks, champagne, flutes, that sort of thing. Wonderful. I love that. Now, is that finished? Are we going to see that finish now? Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh my gosh.
Look at that. And the nice thing about glass is it's one of those materials where as the light catches it just in the right way, the design really pops and it's just very beautiful.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. Say cheese, the Shapiro family.
So 47 seconds, and you can imagine that is a very inexpensive thing to buy just as a plain glass cheese board.
Ta-da! Yeah, that was, it was 47 seconds to print, but I mean the whole thing start to finish. Copy, paste, drag it into place, set up, put the material and push the button. That was, what, 3 minutes?
Minute and a half max.
And so think about how you can turn that into a business for yourself. What is the idea that you come up with? What is the piece of artwork, the photo that you might engrave, the thing you might doodle or draw, the text you might create that could transform something simple into something that people would really feel personal about, would connect to, would love and care about in less than 5 minutes? That's what I'm so excited about. That's the power of what you can create with your Glowforge.
Oh, I love this on chat. Daniel is saying, I've had my Glowforge for a year and I'm still finding things that surprise me that I can do. Yes. I mean, I've been working for Glowforge for over 5 years and I swear every single day at work, I'm on hashtag Glowforge on Instagram or seeing some other customer work and my mind is blown on a daily basis still.
Now, I saw Catherine was asking about the difference between the 3 models. So what you saw here is the Glowforge Pro. Now, there's the Basic and the Plus. The Basic can make lots of things that you'd see around. It's not what we'd recommend for if you're thinking about actually creating a business around it. Stepping up to the Plus gives you double warranty and up to 2x faster printing speed, which is going to help with production. But the Glowforge Pro, which is created for people like you who are thinking about actually making it pay for itself and then help support you, help support your loved ones, the Glowforge Pro goes up to 3 times as fast. It adds a more powerful laser for cleaner, faster cuts. It adds enhanced cooling so you can run all day. You can print glass cutting boards nonstop without pausing. And it has that same double warranty. And my favorite piece is it has the Pro pass-through slot. The Pro pass-through slot lets you create truly enormous prints, things that are 20 inches wide by as long as you want. And in order to do that, you insert a giant piece of material in, you start the print, you move it forward, the cameras figure out how far it's moved and pick up right from where it's left off. I'm not sure if you can see on this other camera, but I've got a sign behind me that was created with Pro pass-through. And right there, you can see the size of this. It is enormous. And that's something that you can create by using Pro pass-through with the Glowforge Pro.
That's fantastic. Now, I see Michelle asking what type of programs can she use to design a print and what software works best. I mean, I think that this is something that people get hung up on because they're worried about file types and they sound scary and what's an SVG and what's a PDF and what's a JPEG and whatever, but it's not. Just anything that you can export as a PDF will work. The trick is that you'll use different colors to designate the different steps in your design. So imagine that you're printing out like a coaster. You've got a circle that you're going to cut out of wood that you do your circle in blue, and then you do your score in red, and then Glowforge will read the file type, read it as two different steps, and you'll be able to cut those two different ways, cut or engrave or score.
And just chime in on that. We see folks using Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Cricut software, you name it. If you can save it as a PDF or a JPEG, then you can use it with your Glowforge software.
Sky on chat is asking, I want to print acrylic cake toppers for wedding clients. And actually, that reminds me, I have a whole bunch more small businesses that I pulled up on Instagram, and one of them does cake toppers that I have to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Start sharing. And here we are with, well, perfect. I'm already on her. So this is Kimmy from the Kimmy Collective, and she is a calligrapher. And I mean, look at that. She spent years perfecting her beautiful handwriting, and then she engraves it onto, I know. Right here, I saw the caption on this one says something like, when your friend last minute wants a tropical theme. So she was able to print out a monstera leaf in rose gold. I love that. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see right here, Kimmy actually helped a lot with our ear savers effort earlier this year, which was during the beginning of the COVID crisis and actually ongoing. Glowforge customers have been helping with this giant relief effort for essential workers by printing ear savers like this that attach to the back of your mask.
I just have to let folks know, first, we've given away well over 1 million ear savers that we've created, that customers have created. And second, it is not too late. If you need something to take the strain off a mask, or there's an essential worker or somebody wearing a mask to stay safe, you can go to glowforge.com, and at the very top, there's a link to request free ear savers. So, and if you get a Glowforge, then you can actually print those for yourself and your family. Oh my gosh,
absolutely.
Look at this.
I know. There's wedding signage. I'm trying to find a cake topper. I know there was one on here because just to match that question exactly. But I just love like excited that she could use her Glowforge to help out.
One thing people may not know, you mentioned that she's a calligrapher and she's using her calligraphy in her artwork. People may not realize you don't even need to use software at all. You can take a drawing, you can take your calligraphy, you can put it in the Glowforge, and the onboard camera will scan and trace it for you and transform it into a digital image that you can cut or engrave. So even if all you've got is a pen and paper, you can still create with your Glowforge, and that is exciting whether you are a professional who's transforming artwork into finished products, or whether you're a kid who is drawing a toy and printing it for yourself to play with.
Now here I'm showing Kristen from Creative Native, and she is a photographer and a fine artist from Oklahoma.
While we're looking for cake toppers, I actually do have an example I just happen to have sitting around. If I can show you here on this camera, that is an acrylic earring. It's very similar to what you do with a cake topper. And because I have no particular sense of design, if we can get this up here, I'll show you the earring. I got this from from a really amazing window in a architectural window and traced this and turned it into the same sort of thing you'd see for a cake topper.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible.
But here I am back on Kristen from Creative Native, and I just wanted to point out she's an artist from Oklahoma, from the Choctaw Nation, and you can see she's using some gorgeous patterns and shapes and colors from her heritage that are just stunning.
Yeah, those are beautiful. I love the way she's mixing and matching those different materials and patterns.
Oh, I know. Now this one, Josh from PNW Made, he's a little bit different than some of our owners because he actually doesn't have an Etsy shop. All of his are custom commissions. So it's just message me for custom commissions. And so because of that, you'll notice a lot more stuff that's like maybe like from movies, things that people love and whatnot. But because he's not selling them from his shop, I guess that's okay. They're all custom. They're all for family and friends. And I love some of
my goodness.
I know. I love all the Boba Fett and the beautiful Darth Vader. But I mean,
there's some serious detail there.
Really, they run the gamut though. You can tell that they're custom work. You can tell that these aren't really things that Josh are into. These are things that his clients are into, which is so cool. Oh, I love this squirrel peanut dispenser. And then who have I got next? Oh, yes. I've got Nikita from Kittily Made. This is like signs, home decor, family stuff. I love her font. She's got kind of this very custom font that you'll see on everything, kind of signature. And what's really cool about Nikita's story is that she and her husband actually both support the family with the Glowforge biz. Her husband was able to leave his prior full-time work to help her run this Glowforge powered small business. And it's how they support their family.
Now, we have a couple of questions coming in from chat that I want to be sure we get to talk to. Happy to Bra was asking about engraving things that aren't perfectly flat. Absolutely. You can engrave things that curve up to about 1/2 inch. And so you can focus at different points. You can also carve into the material. There are 3D engrave settings so that if you want to actually sculpt the surface, the darker areas of your image will be deeper and the whiter areas will be higher. So you can carve the surface, and we may actually have some examples of that we can show a little later of 3D engraving. Charles asked, what is Pro Pass-Through? Pro Pass-Through lets you take this slot in the front of your Glowforge. Oh, we can't quite see it there, but there's a slot in the front. Put in an enormous piece of material, start your print, and then push it through and have your print automatically pick up where it left off using the onboard cameras to precisely align the next part with what came before. It's really easy to use and it lets you print enormous materials. Daniel said, did I hear you say unlimited length, like massive wall art? And the answer is, well, I don't know about unlimited. Our current record is 50 feet long. So you might be able to go longer than that, but it currently stands at 50 feet long. So yeah, you can print gigantic, enormous wall art. You can print furniture. You can print headboards for beds. Truly massive. And Rodrigo says, hi to the Glowforge team. Almost 3 years from my pro and still amazes me. Greetings from Chile. Thank you for joining, Rodrigo. I appreciate you checking in.
All right, if we could go back to my screen, I've got just one more I had to share, which is Zori. And she does custom decor and gifts. Her boutique is called Sugar and Chic. And I just love her style. I especially love the multimedia thing she's doing she's like engraving glass and then putting, felt flowers. And it just looks so beautiful, professional, stylish. Oh, I love down here with these ferns. But we actually have a video on Zori, so she can kind of tell you about her business herself. So let's go ahead and watch that now.
When I first discovered the Glowforge, there was really no question of whether or not I wanted to make this investment into my business, and I am so glad that I did. My name is Zori, and I am the owner of Sugar and Chic, a calligraphy and design business that I started over 7 years ago in my home studio in sunny Southern California. The Glowforge has transformed and really propelled my business forward. I purchased my Glowforge less than a year ago, and since then I have seen that my product offerings have just expanded tenfold. I'm a one-person shop, so as my business expanded, I was really looking for something that could grow with me, and that is exactly what I found in the Glowforge. It has basically become like my second employee, and it has been so wonderful to watch the output that I have been able to do. Business aside, I have found that creating things just for my home life and for my kids has just been really fun. It has been mind-blowing to see the things that we can create on our machine.
I just love her work. I want to decorate my whole home in that aesthetic. It's so pretty and fresh. I'm seeing an interesting question come through, which is, can you print on multiple things at once? Like if I wanted to print, 20 luggage tags, do I need to press print 20 different times? And I'm so glad you asked, because Ellen actually has a few different things to print for us today. Hey, Ellen.
Hello. So here is Ellen's hand. That's because I'm going to be drawing for you all really quickly. Well, actually, I have to be honest, it's not going to be drawing. I can't draw, so it's just going to be my handwriting. But today we are going to be doing some flasks. So Ellen's new flask business, I just started it this morning. I'm going to be doing 3 flasks. I already got an order, so good news. I get to show you my order today. So I think that these would be some really great groomsmen gifts. So my order is for 3 groomsmen. The first one is for, let's make sure that you can see this. The first one is for Stan. The next one is going to be for John. And the last one is going to be for Andy. All right, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to stick this into my Glowforge printer. And then
she's got some flasks lined up in there already.
Yeah. And I'm going to share my screen over here really quickly so that you can see exactly what I'm doing inside my Glowforge. All right. So as you can see, I've got that piece of paper in there now. And Bailey, do you want to tell them a little bit about what this is that I'm doing right now?
Absolutely. So there's a camera in the lid of your Glowforge. And so Ellen's put the piece of paper in there, and now she's grabbing, using our trace feature, she's grabbing each of those names individually. So even if you had, a recipe or a drawing and you just wanted part of it, or you wanted to engrave different parts of it on different parts of your material, you could do that. So she's using the same piece of paper. Now she's going to click trace, and she's just doing a little box around John. It makes John into its own individual image, and then she's able to click around and move the different John, Andy, and Stan images on exactly where she wants them onto her artwork, or excuse me, her flasks in this scenario.
And one thing I love about this is you can do this with business cards, you can do this with drawings, you can do this. It's the easiest way to take a customer or client's artwork or your own and transform it into something digital that you can go and use to power your business.
And I was thinking for, like, if you were using this for groomsmen gifts, it would be so special to write like a little message in your own handwriting and then engrave it. Like, thank you for being, a wonderful friend to us these last 20 years. Thanks for being at our wedding. I think there's something super magical about obvious human handwriting, real handwriting engraved onto metal. Like, that just is magical to me. So you can see Ellen is just getting her names sized perfectly and arranged perfectly on those little ribbon things. So just to explain a little bit more what you're seeing, the ribbon banners are an image, a file, a design file that Ellen has already brought up, and she's already placed them exactly where she wants on the flasks. So now she's just kind of positioning the names on them, and looks like she pressed print. But Ellen, you are going to need to.
I think she just removed the paper, and we're getting the new image.
That's why it says scanning.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry, I tried to move my mouse over there to show you all that it was scanning, but this is what my Glowforge view looks like. There's a little camera on the inside of your lid that takes a picture every time that you open it, so you know exactly where your material is, and all you have to do is click print.
And the layout here is so simple because you can see it. Somebody asked about curved surfaces. You can see that these flasks are in fact curved surfaces, and that's no problem. They're going to engrave perfectly. Now, Ellen, it looks like you're not printing the ribbons. You're just printing the names. Is that right?
She did them already. So
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
So
seeing
like
engravings. I see.
engravings
Okay.
on engraving. So imagine if you had Ellen's flats business, she could do like 50 of those, and then as the orders roll in, she can just customize them with the names.
That's so
Fantastic.
incredible. And likewise, if you wanted to take your Glowforge with you to an event and
Oh,
bring your
yeah.
compact filter along, you could do this live in front of a customer as well. Imagine how special that moment would be if they could watch their gift come to life right in front of them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and look, it started. There it goes. I love this.
And
They're so
I
fun to
could
look
hear
through.
briefly, Ellen, I could hear your Glowforge in the background. We get some questions about how loud it is. It's typically not as loud as your vacuum. If you're in the same room, you can hold a conversation at normal tones, but you'll definitely notice it. It's loud enough that you'll hear it clearly. In the next room, with the door closed, you can barely hear it to give some sort of sense.
Yeah.
So we've got about 5 minutes. While we're doing that, is it possible that we could take a look at, we had a question earlier about how you set up your Glowforge, because all you need is power, Wi-Fi, and somewhere to put the exhaust hose. So you can either put it out a window or you can put it into the air filter, which is an optional attachment. Nick, do we have the ability to show your setup where we've got that?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay.
All right,
Nick
I'm going to go to
cam.
my handheld camera. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
All right, so you can see my next print ready to go there. But if I just move this around,
Ooh, sneak peek of our next.
Oh yeah,
print.
you can see my arrived as well. So here we are. Really very simple. Just my 4-inch hose going out through the window. And to achieve this, I just had a piece of plastic cut at my local hardware store and taped it to my window. That's it.
And I don't know, are folks able to see that? I don't have oh, there we go. Great.
Let me go the
so
other
it's a
side so
little
maybe you can
delayed.
see better.
Oh, wonderful.
Nick's fancy.
Yeah,
I just hang the hose out the open window. But yeah, you can also just take a piece of acrylic, put it in there. I've even used my Glowforge to cut a hole for my Glowforge hose before. And then Ellen, while we're printing, is it possible for you to show us how your Glowforge exhaust is hooked up? So Ellen's got the air filter right there, which sits on the floor. It plugs into the same outlet. And while you're doing that, you can run your Glowforge in a small apartment. You can run it in a small office. It lets you really run your Glowforge anywhere with a power plug and Wi-Fi with that optional compact filter. I definitely recommend it as an option for maximum flexibility wherever you go. Now, Eric is asking in chat about the difference between basic and pro. He says he can't decide what's right. The basic lets you create a whole variety of things, but with the plus, you're going to get the double warranty and up to 2x faster printing speed. It's the pro that gets you the 3x faster printing speed, the enhanced cooling for all day long printing, the enhanced laser power for faster cutting speeds and cleaner cuts, and the Pro pass-through that lets you print enormous oversized materials. If you're going to be selling or thinking about selling what you're making on your Glowforge, I highly recommend the Pro. It will pay for itself in no time with the faster cutting speed and with everything else.
And speaking of which, I do have a discount to share today that I wanted to make sure we get out. I always mean to offer it earlier, tell you all earlier if we have a special going, but I get so excited about the stream. So if you are ready to buy a Glowforge, you can just go ahead and go to glowforge.com/goingpro-discount. And that's a discount that's only good for the folks who registered for this Going Pro live stream with us today. So again, that's glowforge.com/goingpro-discount. And it's $500 off a Pro, $250 off a Plus, or $100 off a Basic. And I should mention, it is only good through the end of the month, which is just a few days. So that discount will expire, I believe, on the end of day on Monday, August 31st. Going Pro discount.
We should also say that is the best price that we have ever offered for our Glowforge Pro for sale. It is an incredible value, and it comes with free shipping on that, so you can have that delivered to your door. In fact, we even have upgraded shipping available where you can get it in as little as 2 days. So if you're looking at this, if you're seeing these designs spring to life in minutes and saying, oh my gosh, I could do that too, you really could be doing that in just a matter of days.
I see a question about we're engraving on flasks and cutting boards, but can we make 3D objects too? Great question. Yes, and in fact, we have a customer who makes really cool 3D things that I had to show you. So we've got a video from Holston. Can we go ahead and bring up Holston's video? We'll watch that now.
Glowforge allows you to make products as soon as you open up the box. Hi, my name is Holston, and I'm the founder of Mosaic Expressions, a Glowforge powered company. I make products for people to repeatedly customize the shape, the color, and texture of what they have. I really like being able to tap into the mindset I had as a kid and when I played with Legos and Tinker Toys and paper and scissors in order to really just explore my creativity. And that's what I hope to bring out in my products, and that is something that I feel that Glowforge does theirs. This is where my Glowforge lives. It is surrounded by scrap material made from numerous prototyping and experimentation with different shapes for the product variations I've made over time. I have made something unique that inspires others to be creative and expressive, and I'm really glad for that opportunity.
All right, it looks like my print is finishing up in just about 13 seconds, but as I mentioned before, it is super easy to have all of your flasks done already. Bailey said that I had already engraved the little design on there, and you can add just like a special element on there. So now that my print is finished up, I'm just going to pull those flasks out. And as you can see, there's Stan's, John's, and Andy's. And let me grab my cloth over here because we're just going to give this a quick wipe. And that's all that you have to do to finish up your flask. But yeah, so
that's amazing.
This is a fantastic way to customize items and customize them early too. But I know that we've also got some more ways that you can customize things for your business. Nick, if you want to talk about the things that you can do next.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Alan. So I have another example, a very quick print for you of another way that you can add value to your business. And price tags are something that a lot of our business customers talk about in terms of how much they are to have produced if you want something that's really special. So I have a super quick print. I'm going to share my screen once again and show you exactly what I mean. Now I just got to find the right one. Should be this one right here. Wonderful. And so here's my design. We're going to open this up and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I have lots of scrap material around from various projects that I've taken, and I often use it to create gift tags. And so this is a good example of that. I have 6 pieces of maple plywood and a simple design that uses my signature and a score line. And what I'm going to do is take this, drag it into position just as you can see right there. I'm going to turn off these cut lines and just focus on this score setting that I have here. And I'm going to show you how quick it is to produce a really, really custom looking gift tag, price tag, or just embellishment that you might add to one of your products or projects. All right, let's hit print. Now I'm going to go in here with my close-up cam if I can at all, so you can see just how quickly this is printing.
That is incredible. I love seeing businesses that create custom packaging. I think it's one of my favorite things. I've seen Glowforge owners, make stamps and put them on their boxes. I've also seen Glowforge owners print directly on cardboard boxes. I think that that's such a fantastic way of sending your customers something that's really special that they know as soon as they open their mailbox that it is from your business.
And it just makes getting something from Etsy so much more exciting when there's like little custom elements. It feels very special. It helps the seller be really memorable. You might buy from them again. Or I know when I was shopping a lot on Etsy for my wedding decor last year that some of them really went above and beyond with the packaging, and it really stood out.
And I know that if you're thinking about starting a business, you're looking and saying, how is it that some people are charging so much more for their products than others? What is it that really elevates their ability to charge? And it's these kinds of details. It's the custom packaging. It's the beautiful attention to detail that turns your work into something truly premium that is going to feed into your business, that's going to help you support yourself, that's going to help you support your company. Or that's just going to make it easier for you to take your hobby to Etsy or eBay or to the local craft fair, like these custom price tags he's creating right now.
I can't believe
we've only got a few seconds left. I know. Yeah. I see it's just 30 seconds left. But while it's finishing up, I've got to say, Thomas on chat says, all I can say is that I wish I'd purchased my Pro, and the first time we saw an ad for it, it is so awesome. Go for it. Thank you, Thomas. Philip asks, are items hot after printing, or can I take them right out? you can take them right out. The laser is so tightly focused that it actually puts very little heat into it. It's just very localized. So the second that you open it, your product is ready to touch and remove. Janelle, oh my gosh. Janelle is saying she is having her 3-year business birthday party in September, which marks 3 years with my lovely Glowforge. 3 years of creating things like this.
Wow.
Thank you, Janelle. Congratulations. And Nick, show us what you've done. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. I think we have your mic off, but that's okay.
Yeah, I can't hear
we want to see it. That's the important part. Oh, and your signature in the corner. That's fabulous.
There you go.
There you are.
And Charles is asking, if I get the Pro with the filter, can I use the Pro with the filter when I'm inside and then use the exhaust hose when I'm at an event? Absolutely. You can switch back and forth.
Good idea.
It's easy. Your Glowforge comes with everything you need to do both.
Absolutely.
Deb, congratulations, new Glowforge owner. I know you have all the success that we've seen today. And really, you know, as you're thinking about this, as you're thinking about whether or not Glowforge is going to be something that you can bring into your life, I hope you've had the experience today. I hope you've gotten to see some of the things you can make. I hope you've gotten just a taste of all the creativity that's out there. I know that you've got amazing things within you. I know you have ideas. I know you have designs. You've got plans for how you might be able to take something and transform it into something special. And whether it's as simple as what you saw here, taking a quick piece of design and customizing the glass cutting board, which you saw earlier, which lets you go and really transform that into something special. Although because it's glass, it's sort of invisible on the camera right now. Let's see. Whether it's something that simple, or whether it's profound and complex, like you've seen some of our artists be able to do here and really elevate their artwork. Whether it is out of wood or glass, whether it's leather or metal, whether it is paper or cardboard or corkboard, whether you're designing things as simple as my daughter who made this little leather card pouch with her favorite saying on it. Every day learn something new, which I guarantee you is the experience of owning your own Glowforge, or something like the shoulder bag, or something like this incredible piece of artwork from a whole host of Glowforge owners working together in different materials. Whatever creativity is inside you, I hope you have the opportunity to unlock it. You can't start a business without the right tools. And in my experience, this is a tool that is truly transformative, that lets you change overnight from I have an idea to I have a business. That lets you go overnight from I like to make things to making things help supports me and my family. So whether you decide to take the plunge or not, I thank you so much for joining us. And I really appreciate you spending the time with us. I hope you have the experience of Glowforge ownership yourself really soon. And we've got that code at the bottom. It's the best price we have ever offered on the Glowforge Pro for sale. If you go to the Going Pro discount, you will see that $500 discount off the Glowforge Pro so that you can get started with your own Glowforge powered business. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.